Well, we talked to screenwriter, director, and screenwriting teacher John Truby today, and he said that the mark of a true professional in this business is to accept criticism and feedback about your work without any defenses up, which I think would be very difficult for most people. So it sounds easy in theory, but probably much harder in practice. So when people have approached you about anything, not just necessarily this project, but about something else, how is that for you? I mean, if someone says, you know what, I have to tell you, I didn't get this part of what you were trying to do. I kind of see where you're trying to go with it. Maybe they're soft in their delivery to you, but still it's like it stings a little bit because it's still saying that your project's not perfect. How do you take that?
We're so used to, as actors, just doing what the director says and not arguing, that there's an element of that.
And actors face criticism all the time, you know.
Constantly.
I think that as an artist you have to be receptive to criticism in order to get better. And as a writer too, like when we're writing, I wrote the selling, but now we're writing together, we want harsh criticism of the script because that's where you can fix problems. You know, now if we show the movie and someone says, you know, I didn't think it was really, it's like, okay, well, thanks for the feedback. There's not much I can do about it now because I don't have the money to go back and reshoot it. So I'm, you know, it's fine, and if people feel moved to come talk about it, there's a good chance we probably agree with them because, you know,
you're the most critical of your own work.
Yeah, so. And you know, it's never what you want it to be. You know, I heard Martin Scorsese said every film he's been on, he wished he had 10 more days of shooting. That's Martin Scorsese. So, you know, I don't think you'll ever be satisfied with what you have. So if someone comes up and says something to me about, you know, oh, this beat here, like, yeah.
On the other hand,
what we got on the day.
Have to take the source of the criticism. We got a scathing review that was so bad, and
the first review, very first review before we premiered at a film festival.
And I went and looked. This was a blogger, and I went and looked through his other stuff. And he gave Raising Arizona a 1.5 stars.
No,
he gave Raising Arizona one star.
He gave us a 1.5 stars. So we thought we were better than Raising Arizona.
That's not bad. If someone doesn't like Raising Arizona, I don't want them to like our movie.
Right. So you consider the source. Sure.
I feel like that was a compliment.
Right. Well, on the flip side then, how do you deliver any criticism or feedback if someone asks, or even if they don't? Maybe you feel it's your duty to tell them that, oh, I think they're talented, and if I tell them this, it might help them get.
It depends if it can help or not. Yeah. Like I said, if their movie is done, and if there's, you know, if there's something they could do editorially to fix it, then, you know, and they've asked for feedback. It's, you know, people, you have to be careful. Because sometimes people, if they ask for feedback, really what they're asking for is praise. And those people aren't going to be receptive to you no matter what you do. So you can take time and you can write a 10-page thing about, okay, if you do this and this and this, and really trying to help them, and they'll just, you know, be angry at you and walk off. So if someone asks for feedback, you might want to ask, what type of feedback do you want? Do you want, you know, my general feeling? Do you want, you know, a pat on the back? Do you want to really dig deep? Like, if people tell you what they want, then you can give it to them, as opposed to, you know, they may feel blindsided if you give them a whole bunch of notes on something.
We do a lot of readings of our scripts with wonderful actors that we're lucky enough to know, and those are places where we're really looking for the worst thing that people think. And we may disagree. We may think, no, this scene does belong here for this reason. And we're the artists, so we're the last word unless we start working with super fancy producers. So I think that asking for criticism and giving criticism, like Gabe said, is difficult, and you have to look at the source, and you have to look at where they are in the process, and it's very delicate.
Sure. And what if they were friends? Do you think it's easier to give a stranger criticism than someone that you still want a relationship with?
Not if they've asked for it.
Okay.
Unless it's really terrible and there's nothing they can do, then it's awkward. But we have very talented friends who've never faced that before.